Good morning, everybody. Thank you for joining us here on this beautiful Sunday morning at Earth and Sky Center. We're based out of Flint, Michigan, and we love all of you who join us in person so much, and those of you who join us online. We really appreciate each and every one of you too. Your likes, your loves, your shares, and your comments are all very much appreciated. So we are continuing our series about the moons today. We have such a wonderful array as we've been talking about the moons going around the year. Last month, I must say, was the thunder moon, which is just such an incredibly powerful moon, a powerful time in our lives. Each of the moons have these great representations of not only describing what's going on around us in life and what the season is. A lot of them are based on what the seasons are and what we're, growing or planting, as we've talked about the wheel of the year, and it all being based about what you're planting in your life, what seeds you want to sow, what you're reaping, and really consciously choosing to live and create the life of your dreams. Well, as we've been doing that, we've been talking about each of the moon phases in that aspect, and each one has the Native American meaning, which really you can go deeply in interpreting that. And so this one, with the full Sturgeon Moon, this is quite an incredible moon. Can I show both of them so the audience can see? The artists that do this for us actually were so kind in making two, which was really, really hard for us to choose which one we wanted to do. But this is the other one. I've mentioned before, if you are interested in purchasing any of these moons, you certainly can do that as well from Man in the Moon Metalworks. Try to get that centered. My assistant isn't here today, but this is the Triskelion version of the Sturgeon Moon, and then we have this one that will be featured on our wheel. And so the Sturgeon Moon is really an interesting primordial kind of an energy, because the sturgeons are very old fish. They were actually around in the time of the dinosaurs, and so it's amazing that we still have this type of life energy around on our planet. Of course, things have changed and evolved, as all animals and creatures have, but it brings up that really deep energy. So each of the moons, we've also mentioned, have many other names before I get too much into the sturgeon and how to bring that energy into your life. One of the moon names was the wheat cut moon, because you can imagine in some parts of the country people are cutting the wheat at this time of year. And it's also the full green corn moon, because corn is almost ready. It's a little green still, but it's almost ready to be harvested. The Ojibwa tribe is called it the blueberry moon, so apparently they were enjoying a lot of blueberries this time of year, as am I lately. The Dakota Sioux called it probably the more blanketing name, which was the moon when all things ripen, and that's kind of what we're seeing a lot in our life. It was the San Juan tribe that called it the wheat cut moon, but we're seeing so many things ripening in our lives. All of the plans that we've made throughout the year are starting to unfold. We're starting to really see them working their magic in our life. We have this summer heat that's really making us active and getting involved in things, maybe going out, maybe moving outside of your comfort zone a little bit too at this time. So we had winter where we were planting our seeds, we had winter where we were planting our plants, spring where we were planting our seeds. Now we're moving right over here into the height of summer. We've already passed Litha, and we're getting ready to soon, very soon, come into the fall season, which is where we're really pulling up all of those things that we've harvested. And so it's really a great time to, again, reflect back. We always want to reflect back on what our plans were in winter. What things did we tweak and change a bit with our plans as we started to come into summer, realizing maybe some of those seeds we planted needed to change a bit. Maybe we wanted to add some other things. Maybe we had to let go of things that we expected to be there, but just weren't really right for us. And so now we're coming into that Sturgeon moon. So the sturgeon, according to Sun Bear's astrology, he has an animal totem that he's assigned to everybody depending on when you were born. So those born between July 23rd and August 22nd, which three of them in our group have, that I know you and you. I was forgetting the one that's normally here, not here today. And so three of them are in this date where he is assigned the most ancient fish that's still here, the sturgeon, as your animal totem. So it's kind of interesting as you think about the traits we're going to talk about, how they maybe imply into your lives. But when we come into this full moon time of the Sturgeon moon, it's about how we can really seize, harness, and empower our lives with these traits for everybody, as well as those might apply even more to those that have this animal totem that dates all the way back to the dinosaurs. If you look at the sturgeon, it's really interesting because they have these kind of thorny bodies. If you pull up pictures online, it's really interesting. It's kind of a thorny, kind of a little bit scaly, different than a normal fish. They're very just interesting with the ridge that is right along the back. You can see the little whisker that's right at the front of the mouth there, and I just love the way you get all the detail on these. But so when you look at it, it'll really kind of bring about that feeling, and when you look at something, you can kind of take in some of those attributes. So they look very strong. These are very large fish. These are not your standard goldfish. They're quite large, quite you can just look at them and see the strength that's within them, and they have an amazing ability to survive. You're thinking about them evolving through all of these years, and they've still got so much of their original traits within them and able to survive. They're also very adaptable. Sturgeon are very, very deep swimmers, yet they also like to jump up over the surface. So they will jump up into the air at times and then dive way down deep again, almost like some theatrical displays, if you will, as they're leaping up, diving back deep, really making full use of the space around them. One of the things I teach in some of my classes is the importance of taking up your space. If you're willing to spread your arms out, dance around a room, really take up your space. Even in yoga classes, we'll see this, people that are willing to really take up their space, you know, really embody all of the postures. It shows that you have a feeling of knowing you belong here in this life. You know that this world belongs to you as much as anybody else. And so if you feel like you have to kind of condense and close into a smaller space and you're always worried about bumping anybody or taking up too much room, then it might be an indication that you don't feel that you belong and you have the right to take up all of your space. So it might be an easier way to expand out of your comfort zone and just, you know, talk with your hands and your arms and take up your space. Walk through the whole room when you're in a group of people and just really do that. It's going to signal to your subconscious that you belong here, that you are worthy, that you deserve to enjoy life, and that you're worthy of being in this space as much as anybody else. So the fish kind of teach that with their jumping up above the water and taking up the deep space as well, being big, active swimmers, really, really strong, really, really adaptable. And it's just fascinating to watch them. Within Sun Bear's astrology, one of the things he talks about is that when you're out of balance, if you're like the sturgeon, if you have this as your totem, then out of balance you might be a bit thorny or bristly or aggressive at times. And out of balance, it's somebody that's going to really hide their true feelings by trying to put on this kind of aggressive demeanor, and really they're soft and sensitive inside. I'm sure all of you know people that are like that try to hide their true feelings inside by putting up a thorny wall of saying, you know, you can't get close to me, you won't know me, I'll jump out and I'll bite you. And so that's just their way of trying to protect themselves. So in balance, though, this totem is really beautiful because it talks about how to weave this medicine. Sometimes people will weave the sturgeon medicine through their life and into the light, and so that they can easily feel what others are feeling without it affecting themselves. Sturgeon really speaks a lot to empaths, because empaths are always picking up on the emotions and the feelings of everybody around them. Very, very sensitive. Sometimes empaths will walk into a room and just feel what the energy feels like. They know what people are thinking in there. And so the sturgeon can help you with that by bringing that strength up so you can still interpret those signals. You can still be aware, conscious, and thoughtful of other people and their emotions, recognizing that when you feel it, you bring it in, you see it, and then you know it's not yours. And so you can use that to help other people to become stronger or to deal with whatever emotions they're dealing with, and to know how to communicate with them, but not walk away feeling like where you once were happy and you walk into a room where some people are sad and you leave not knowing why you're sad. Instead, ask the sturgeon energy to help you, to bring that strength in, to recognize what is yours and what's not yours, to recognize that if you feel like you're deep in the depths underwater, you're just kind of buried in sadness or emotion that's overwhelming you, you can dive and you can jump too. So you can go right up above the water, take a breath of fresh air, come back in for a fresh dive. Cleanse yourself, clear yourself, know the strength that's within you, and this remarkable ability to have a strong sense of survival and making it even better. Every day can be better than the last day. Knowing that everything in life has a season as well. So a big part of those seasons is recognizing what's yours and what's not yours. When do you want to have a certain energy, and when do you need to cleanse it? When do you need to take those deep dives, washing away all of that old excess energy, washing away the pain, the hurt, feeling disappointed by others? Let the water cleanse it off and come back up for fresh air. Knowing that you have an ability not only to survive, but to really thrive when you get in touch with that energy of the sturgeon. Each of the moons has their own energy and essence within them. Each of the moons has an ability to carry you. If you're just following the rhythm of it, you might feel like you get kind of sucked under because it's such a powerful energy when it's a full moon. But you have this amazing ability, when you recognize what the moon is about, to embrace it and make it your strength and build yourself every month with a new theme, with each of the themes of the moon. And I think having your awareness on the fact that it is coming and what the lessons are and how you consciously want to weave it into your life is going to really help as a big stepping stone to not be swept up in those lunar currents, but to really harness the power and use it in your life to really take you to those next levels. So I'd like to have you kind of think through this throughout the rest of the day today, where you can add the medicine of the Sturgeon Moon into your life. How can you use this time? The Sturgeon Moon will be coming up on Thursday, that's the 15th. Yes, Thursday the 15th at 8:31 in the morning. I saw different reports. Some said 8:29, some said 8:31 in the morning. So somewhere right in that little block is where it will reach its absolute peak of the full moon. But really for about 3 days, you'll have that full moon essence and energy before and after the moon. So it's a perfect time to think about it, plan, prepare, and figure out where you maybe have some thorny edges that you want to release and clear. Where do you have walls that you're maybe holding people out that you should let go of, and know that you're strong enough within yourself to be able to deal with whatever is coming at you, to know that you are amazing within yourself, and to allow that light to shine. And both of these are segueing into a couple of the other life talks we're going to be having coming up soon. So one of them is on trust and when we can trust and what causes us sometimes not to trust. And the other one is going to be talking about, is this earth, a lot of people have different opinions, is life on earth, is it hell on earth or is it heaven on earth? If you feel like it's hell on earth, how can you switch that into feeling like it's heaven on earth? Both are completely possible here in this life. So we will be having those coming up over the next few weeks here. So I hope this has helped you. I hope you are inspired to think about the sturgeon. Maybe look up some of those pictures and meditate on their pictures too. Maybe get out in some water. This is a great time of year. It's hot enough outside to get out in some water outside and really bring that energy in. If you don't want to go outside, you can even just drink water or add a little salt to your water and think about bringing in the essence of the sturgeon. They're actually not saltwater fish, but that can help to enhance your meditation sometimes if you have a little bit of salt with it too. Sometimes people use Himalayan salt under their tongue when they meditate. Just a different interesting trick to work with trying in your practice this week. I hope this has helped you with some inspiration, and we will look forward to seeing you next week. Have a great week, everybody.